Hello there, everybody. I hope you've all had a wonderful work week. So what are you all doing in marketing for Pride Month? I mean, here we are, it's June, it's Pride Month, and doesn't it seem a little quiet this year? No big controversies like there were last year, but at the same time, no standout creative campaigns either. So what's going on? Well, here's the thing. It might seem hard to believe, but we were asking this exact same question at exactly the same time last year. So is a quieter marketing season for Pride Month simply a trend that's been developing over a few years, or is there something else at work here that is artificially dampening marketer spirits? One thing we do know is that influencers in this space are feeling the pinch. So are we looking at just a broader shift in advertising and marketing creative, or are politics playing a heavy hand here? You want to know more? Well, let's fly our flag and explore. This is a few minutes of what's new in marketing that might help you lead your business's strategy. Let's go ahead and roll. Hello everybody, Robert Rose here with What's New in Marketing. It is about what's new in marketing, but most importantly, it's something important in marketing that we think may help you become a better leader. And if we can help you or your team with content marketing services, and that includes custom training, consultation, ongoing implementation of your content marketing approach, or quite honestly, just sweeping up your floors, well, get on over to contentmarketinginstitute.com and fill out that form and let's talk about it. So June is Pride Month, and here we are as marketing and advertising professionals. And is your company creating content or marketing campaigns to celebrate this month? If we're to believe the anecdotal evidence, it's quieter this year than in any time in recent history. Recent articles in many of the trade publications have noted that 2024 has seen a marked decrease in the number of brands that are planning big campaigns to celebrate Pride Month. Earlier this year, Target actually made an announcement, said it would officially be scaling back its Pride Month products this year, saying that it would not be featuring a number of products in store. It'll be featuring it in about half of its 2,000 stores and also through its online store. Additionally, organizations such as GLSEN, which is the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, a nonprofit focused on creating safe and inclusive education for LGBTQ youth, saw a marked decrease in support from brands last year, and they cited the backlash that brands were receiving, and this year, noting that the support was down again another year due to the quietness. Well, I should note that at exactly this time last year, I covered some of that backlash that marketers were receiving, and my take on it in that report last year, well, I was saying that 2023 felt a lot different than 2022 because if you took a look, there were just as many brands doing something for Pride Month, such as MasterCard hosting Pride Plaza, which, by the way, seems to be going pretty well here in 2024. And then Skittles had a big announcement of their skittles.com/pride site in 2023. And by the way, also still going strong in 2024. The difference though, is neither of them have much of an announcement fanfare. So the question is, are there actually fewer campaigns, or is it actually quieter from a content perspective, or is it, brands just not yelling about it anymore? In other words, are brands just kind of saying, if you know, you know? I think this is very likely. I mean, to me, it seems that when you look at what the big brands are doing in 2024, they are simply trying to avoid the PR backlash by quietly either continuing or launching supporting initiatives for the target audience here. They are basically not trying to make news with their marketing campaigns and instead just relying on the community itself and perhaps some sort of social media or other influencers to spread the word. Now, that said, I would also note that influencers have noted that they've definitely felt the pinch this year of the quiet. In an article on Modern Retail, one influencer noted that in a year where they might have usually made 1/3 of their yearly income in June, well, now as they said, June is just another month. Now, is this good? Is this right? Well, my take is that it's neither. It's neither good or bad. It's just a recognition of the reality for most brands in today's highly politicized environment. In my article last year, I noted that one of the keys to succeeding with any kind of campaign like this is to realize that the celebration isn't about your brand. The community doesn't need or want your permission to be them. In many ways, to avoid the backlash from the community itself, you need to ensure that you're celebrating the inclusion of who the community is, not the fact that your brand is trying to sell or be clever about their way of getting into the community. The other thing I noted was that you shouldn't even attempt that conversation about pride or any other community without asking, how will we defend this decision? If you're asking how we will defend this decision, if you're having that discussion in your company, it's a sure sign that you haven't really explored if the entirety of your organization, your brand, believes in what it's doing. That's the entire lesson that Bud Light learned the hard way last year. So ultimately, brands may be taking these cautions to heed, basically saying to themselves, we're going to support the community and continue doing what we do, but we're also not going to scream that we're doing it in some performative or virtue signaling way. In other words, if you look at this from the positive side of things, perhaps brands are actually trying to do the good work here and create spaces for the community without calling attention to themselves for doing it. Or if you look at this from the negative side, you might think to yourself, well, brands just aren't willing to have that hard discussion about what they're willing to believe in today's climate. So which answer is right for you and your company? As for me, I tend to lean hard into doing the work. Let the work speak for itself. That creates trust over attention. But honestly, between those two choices, I value the former over the latter. And that is a few minutes of what's new in marketing. Remember, it's your story to tell. Be proud of it. And then go tell it well. I'll see you next week.